taking off on runway 7. If we're not off by the turn off to the FBO, abort the runway, abort the takeoff.
Deal.
No problem getting off in short distance today.
I wouldn't think so. Yesterday it was like 30 knots down the runway. We climbed at 2,500 feet per minute.
Nobody's on final?
Nope, looks good.
Bellfountain traffic, Diamond Star 407 Delta Sierra, departing runway 7 to the north, Bellfountain. Oh, I was going to ask you about doing a 0-0 takeoff.
Oh yeah, you want
just to practice it.
Put your boggers on.
Let me get lined up here.
Absolutely. You can go.
Never done one yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I get the brakes for a second.
Now I know the procedure, so go ahead and set the heading bug to 070.
Yep.
And we're going to just keep it on the runway and fly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of look outside a little bit, and then you're all inside as soon as you take off.
Bellfountain traffic, Diamond 7 Delta Sierra is on the roll, runway 7, departure to the north, Bellfountain. Okay, airspeed's alive. 55 wants to fly, and we're away.
Yep.
Have it into the wind.
Do the teardrop entry for the downwind for runway 9.
Okay, we're above 70, flaps up.
Oh, it looks dim. Your instrument light, I turned it on last night. You can just turn it all the way off. It'll click. It'll make life a lot easier. Might be a little bit up to you. All right.
Okay, we're above 500. We'll pull back to 25 squared.
Union County traffic, Skyhawk 36 Quebec on the instrument approach for 27. We are 5 miles east. We'll be on the lookout for the aircraft coming into 9, and we'll sidestep to the north. Union County.
Ups off, landing light off.
Traffic will look out for you. Just let us know when you're on.
Timeout checklist complete. This one has a departure procedure, so we need to climb up.
Altitude. Pattern altitude.
Yeah, 2100, then we can turn on course.
Yep. You're right.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and turn on course. Standard rate turn to the left. Clear to the left?
Yeah, you're good. You're all clear.
45 down on runway 2.
And you can go direct enter.
Yep, I was going to do that once I started turning.
And I just make a last call to Bellfountain.
Yep.
Bellfountain traffic, 432 Juliet. We're 8 miles west inbound on runway 6. Traffic, 2419 Lima, turning right southwest.
Bellfountain traffic, Diamond 7 Delta Sierra is departing the pattern to the north. Last call, Bellfountain. Switch over. Now we want to get the weather here.
Yeah.
Start planning that so we can actually turn the autopilot on.
That's what I was.
Bit nav.
Button stuck.
There we go. Nav.
Delaware traffic. Tiger 6
altitude.
Going around runway 10.
Arm.
And then to make it climb to that altitude, what are we going to do?
BS it up.
Yeah. There we go. Done.
Okay.
All right, now you're in your cruise phase.
Yep, so I'm going to get my cruise checklist out. Or just the power setting than anything.
County, we're 8 Alpha Victor, safe.
That's not it. There's too many checklists in here now. There we go. All right. 3,000 feet.
Fostoria traffic, Cessna 23 Golf.
22.6.
27 Fostoria.
2400.
Delaware traffic, departure 8229 Papa 4 miles to the north, inbound for runway 10 Delaware.
Main assist.
Phillipsburg, Cessna 18 Golf, crosswind, runway 21 Phillipsburg.
Roll back to about 7.5 until we feel it stumble, then we'll start ridging it up.
Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned, I always say 8.
Instrument approach inbound, we'll break off before we get to the airport. Green County, we're 8 Alpha Victor, final 25, full stop, Green County.
Golf, downwind, runway 21, Phillipsburg, touch and go.
Phillipsburg, I don't know who that is.
I like that. We're about
75,
85,
one.
yep.
Yep,
All right.
looks good.
Okay.
Looks good to me.
Cruise checklist complete. Now, I like for flight 128.725 tells me what it is right there.
There you
So
go.
we're within 20 miles now.
Yeah, we're in W holds,
So
right?
we're going to start.
Altimeter 3082.
All right, altimeter's the same.
Well, make sure it's on the active box,
Oh.
right?
Bellfontaine
Thank you.
Regional Airport.
43 Zulu.
There we go.
Wind variable at 03.
So we can land on 28.
10. Sky condition
list.
broken 2,100. Temperature minus 07 Celsius. Dew point minus 13 Celsius.
About 5 miles inbound, full stop, going to be
All right, 3083.
Minus
083.
2,004.
Cold water traffic, here's 540.
All right, set 3 times.
Delaware traffic, Archer 822.
We got it.
Papa 45 is a downwind,
All right.
runway 10, Delaware.
So we're 14 miles from Wavig.
briefing the approach a little bit. Yeah.
So we're going to come in on ILS 28.
All right.
We're going to be making a procedure turn outbound
All
at
right.
Wavig. We're going to be at or above 3,000 feet.
Yeah.
And since we're flying the ILS, we're going to stay at 3,000 feet till the glide slope comes alive.
That was the question I was going to ask.
And our touchdown zone elevation is 975. Height about touchdown for the ILS, standard ILS, 775, so 200 our minimums.
Deal.
We got 3/4 miles visibility required.
Good.
And we're pretty clear today, so I think we'll be fine with it.
I think we will.
The mist, if we have to go mist, we'll immediately climb to 3,000.
Papa left downwind, runway 10.
Turn on the 360 radio from Rosewood to the hold at Lynn's.
Yeah. And it's confusing on that miss. If push comes to shove, it's a climbing right turn. That's weird. The pictures don't indicate that.
Yeah, it
but
says 3,000.
there's no way we can get to 3,000 prior to that radial.
Right.
Um,
You might today, but
maybe.
normally, yeah.
Maybe. Especially if we do a touch and go, it'd be pretty tough. If we go 25 squared. So, climbing rate, that's fine. No, that's all sounds good. What are the calls you'd make?
So when we, I'm going to say 10 miles out, which
I'd
we're
do that.
about, we'll call
Yeah.
and just tell people what we're doing.
Yeah.
And we'll call as we're making the turn on Wavig outbound.
Good.
And when we make the procedure turn inbound, we can call again above Wavig. And we'll just start making standard calls on final from there.
Traffic, Archer 29 Papa left
And
base,
Steve
runway 10
will
Delaware.
occasionally jump in on calls, especially if it's busy
Yeah.
or a jet's coming in. Who
Okay.
knows?
Lines traffic says now 5285 Victor,
Lima.
turning left base, runway 20.
It was not. I heard some of these airports before.
So we're about 12 miles direct to the airport right now. We're getting close.
Yeah. Got a little advisory. Might be tank.
Scheduler, switch tanks, fuel pumps on.
Delaware
1,000
traffic, Archer
to
29 Papa,
1,000,
final
switch
runway
on.
10 Delaware.
Bert. We don't really need the pitot heat. We're not flying invisible moisture.
We are good.
All right. Lima Allen County traffic, Diamond 407 Delta Sierra is about 10 to the southeast, inbound for practice ILS on runway 28, Lima Allen County.
So, that turn outbound is what, 096? I think that's what it is.
Victor, turning final runway 20.
Is that a
Yes.
heading or a track? You could ask that. Like, that 096 up here?
Yeah.
Right? It's a track, right?
It's a track.
Desired track. So, our
Desired
heading could be
track.
different, right?
Yeah, it's based on the wind. So
Correct.
this shows desired track,
Yep.
current track, and then,
Heading is just down there.
yeah.
So, that's what you could ask. So,
So this is the track we have with the wind and then the desired. So, I mean, the nice thing is it shows you, we
Yes,
got a
it does.
12, 13 knot crosswind right now.
yeah. How would that affect a hold? Let's say the hold up at Lima up here.
Crosswind, runway 21. Touch and
So
go.
we're going to have to crab for the the long legs. On the turns, the turn into the wind is going to be a steeper bank,
Yeah.
or no, a shallower bank.
Shallower.
And then the turn on the outbound leg is going to power bank, or the inbound leg back
Yep.
for the hold. The length of the legs should be unchanged because it's almost a direct crosswind right
Yeah,
now.
about as close to a minute as you can.
Yeah.
I don't know, my best advice with the holds though is if you can make the plane match up the
Yeah,
circle,
yeah, that's a nice thing about
you
this.
will not bust.
Traffic here. Traffic 18 Gulf, turning left
There's
downwind.
somebody at 3,400 feet above us.
Yeah, I don't know.
TPF 2027.
Oh, probably faster.
Yeah. At least the traffic's working today.
Yeah. Oh, it's gorgeously smooth above these clouds. But I'm just happy to have a day where we can fly.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Kilos about 6 miles to the east on the RNAV 28. We're going to break off well before. We'll break off to the north. Delaware traffic.
Lima Allen County traffic diamond 407 Delta Sierra is about 7 to the southeast. About 5 miles from Wavig, we'll make the outbound procedure turn inbound for runway 28 ILS, Lima Allen County. Probably too much, but rather too much than too little. Engine's looking good. Fuel's looking good. Pictures, everything's in the green. You warm enough?
Oh, I'm warm.
Traffic, Sears 54, Juliet, 3 miles, final runway 25.
All right, so we did the weather, we did the whole procedure turn. We're doing our own clearance today since we're not on air traffic control. Went down procedures we discussed, taking the procedure turn outbound. We'll keep the altitude at 3,000 until we capture the glide slope. And then we'll start doing the landing briefing.
Yeah.
As we're coming inbound before the final approach fix.
Yeah, B-gumps and FAAA done prior to WVIG. And
I'll start slowing down for the flap speed as we make our turn outbound.
Yeah, our T's, right?
So 18 Gulf, turning left base, runway 21, Belfort.
All right, less than 2 miles from Wavig. So, will this fly the turn? So you can be my instructor for a second.
It will turn.
Okay.
It won't do the procedure turn.
Okay, that's when I'll turn to heading bug. And then when we turn inbound, we'll switch over to green needles for ILS. So it's making the turn now. Okay.
It should do it for us.
Yeah.
But be on guard in case it doesn't. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to start slowing down.
Yeah, 18 is what I always did it at. 18 or 19. Now make your airspeed about 108.
And Delaware traffic. Delaware traffic. 29 Lima Kilo is breaking off our 28 approach. We're going to the south. Delaware traffic.
Lima Allen County traffic. Diamond 7 Delta Sierra is Wavig outbound procedure turn for ILS 28. Lima.
What's this pink line?
That's our safe distance to stay within for the procedure turn, 10
There
miles.
you go. Can I go on this side?
It's not the protected side of the turn.
Correct. You gotta be on this side, right? Yep.
All right, so I'm going to switch over to heading mode.
Watch that bug.
Oh, thank you. Forgot to center the heading bug when I did that.
All right. And it might tell you to do it, or you can do it on your own.
Start turn now. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're turning outbound. 276.
Traffic
Is it
not available.
sure 276? What's it say on the plate for your outbound procedure turn?
141. I saw 276 here. Yeah.
That's your inbound course. Ultimately, what we're going into.
traffic
right, 141.
Picture approach from the northwest landing in 09er. Delaware traffic. 29 Lima Kilo is just south of the field here on what would be a right downwind for 10. We're going to go off to the east and shoot the RNAV 10 approach.
Yeah, if you follow this, it's way closer than the procedure turn on 4 flight.
35.
I agree.
Kind of way out here.
Yeah, I'm not sure why, but yeah. Maybe they're factoring in that we're small. We're on a big fast jet. I don't know.
Yeah. So reciprocal is 321.
And that should help you intercept.
Not telling me to turn, but I
It might,
turn
it
in.
might not. Sometimes it likes to, sometimes it doesn't. I haven't figured out what makes it say yes, turn now.
Okay. Stop that. Flight plan.
Yep.
Cold water turn, tier C, 1 Sierra Hotel, 5 mile,
Oh, look,
5 cold water.
track 276. And then there's one more button you definitely have to hit from an autopilot standpoint.
Cold water traffic.
Approach mode.
Yep.
Cessna 7818
This is
Golf.
when I would do it. 'Cause it's still in heading mode, right?
Phillipsburg,
Oh, it's still slaved to my bug. And I'm just helping it guide it into that localizer. And personally, you know, it should flip to green
I
wheels.
need to press arm, right?
Nope, automatically does it.
Automatic. Okay.
Automatically arm.
All right, switched over to green.
Yep. And right now, you're just helping it get into that localizer, right? We're flying 321 to intercept it. Could do it. We've throttled back. That looks good. And I'd make your procedure turn inbound call.
Lima Allen County traffic, Diamond 7 Delta Sierra's procedure turn inbound, runway 28, RS, Lima. Flight slope's coming alive.
Yes, it is.
All right, so FAAA. So flaps, we're within flap speed almost.
I didn't like approach. You might have to hit approach again. Maybe there's a timer. I don't know. I didn't like it, but now the approach. It's captured. It's turning for us.
All right, so we're within flap speed. We'll start getting B-gump set up here. So
Yeah.
fuel pump's on, landing pump, or landing light on. We're within flap speed, but we'll wait till we're 1 dot above the glide.
I would.
Speed's good.
The thing to watch, you got a nice little tailwind here.
So we're going to have to watch our ground speed up here, 105 knots, try to keep it down at 90. Localizer's captured.
I wonder if I can't see a plane on here. Nope, nope, nope.
All right, there's our flap speed selected. Indicating, I can feel it.
Looks good. Flight slopes captured.
Yep. We're just controlling the airspeed.
You're
Ground
flying
speed.
this right to WeVig. At WeVig, you can kick it off and
Okay.
hand fly. Yeah. It'll probably be, the power setting will probably end up being about 13, 13 and a half. Because your only limiting factor here is that airspeed.
I'm going to wait for props till we're on. Come down.
You could, I mean, B-Gumps would say mixture full rich
Yeah.
and prop in.
When I did that session with Steve, he's like, I don't think you need to do it right away. If you want to, you know, why change your power settings until you need to?
Yeah, I agree.
Do it on short final.
That's fine.
And I
Just
can
remember
do it
to do
now.
it. Yeah. That's the whole thought process. Make sure you remember
Got
that.
it, it's done.
Yep.
Leaving altitude.
All right, we're above WeVig. Half a mile here.
Stellar traffic, I'm sorry, 676 Whiskey is 7 miles west.
All right.
Down on the practice
Autopilot's coming off.
Autopilot's coming off.
Autopilot.
Good. I'm making another call. Hey,
As soon as these people stop
man,
talking.
they're talking
Doing
about
a 30-degree right turn here. We're going to have you pass off to our left, and then we're going to go to Mosby, and we'll do a couple turns, and then we're going to be number 2
Above the
behind
glide
you on
slope.
the RNAV 10 into Delaware. Stop you out there.
Lima Allen County traffic, Diamond 7 Delta Sierra is over WeVig inbound, ILS 28. Lima.
All the traffic, Diamond 454 Kilo Charlie's climbing left crosswind, departing on
All right, we're not going to touch down. You're going to hit your DA, then we're going to go mist, and then we're going to fly to Rosewood.
Okay. So we're 2100 for 1175.
Inbound traffic and sight, resuming our back on the Mosby. We got your thanks.
Let's set that as a reminder here. 1200. just changed.
Yeah, a little sheer.
Helicopter 20954 is entering left traffic for...
If I take this weather, geez, on a Checkride, that'd be great.
Lima Allen County traffic diamond 7 Delta Sierra is 2 mile final, runway 28 Lima.
Something with small wind correction angles, that's awesome.
All right, glide slope centered, localizer centered, 1560 for 1175. Speed's good. Right at 4. Bring it back up. We're a mile from the runway.
Looks great.
Rudder here, just to correct it.
That's a little
Crosswind.
Yeah.
1300, 1280, 1260.
Sticking with it. You call it out.
1200. Half a mile from the runway. We're at DA. I don't see the runway we're going, miss. Power up.
Pitch up.
Pitch up.
Above 70. Clean up.
Clean up.
Done.
Okay.
Nice job. That passes
Heading
easily.
bug.
On runway heading. We'll let you get up to like 2000 and then get yourself set up going to Rosewood for the RNAV. 7. I tell Lima, hey, we're going miss, departing up to the south.
Lima Allen County traffic diamond 7 Delta Sierra is going miss, runway 28, departing the pattern to the south. Lima.
Those traffic.
No, whatever faults you for over communicating.
Over midfield for the left downwind, runway 3, touch and go,
I'd fly first, and then...
Yeah, I was trying to...
Yeah. Remember, you also got Rosewood plugged in up here, right? All you gotta do is flip it over.
Altitude.
Right, and you got an RMI that should point right to it. Here it should pop up. There it is.
There it is. Okay.
Yep. So then you can fly while you fiddle around with it, because to get the approach set up, you're gonna have to get it set up for Bellfontaine.
That's what I was working on. I'll get on the direction and then I'll set it up. All right, we're above 500. Power back.
Fly first, navigate second.
Aviate,
Yeah.
navigate, communicate.
There's so many good acronyms. And then before you even mess with it, just get the autopilot on, stick it in heading mode, right? I'd square the heading bug up, and then that way
Delaware Transport
I'd hit
Officer 822
heading,
Papa, left downwind runway 10.
and then arm.
We'll be departing the pattern to the west, Delaware.
Alright, that's all it is. Now you can get set up going to Bellfontaine and Rosewood and all that stuff. But this is only if he doesn't make you go to the mist. Here. He might not, I don't know. We'll be ready for it. I'd prefer it if he does the mist here, because then your hold's done. But who knows?
I'll lean real quick.
Yep.
Assist.
What's the power setting?
It's 23.6. It's 22.6. 22.6, 2400.
Doing fine.
22.6, 2400, yeah. The RNAV 7.
RNAV 7. And as we get closer, we'll do unusual attitude.
Want to hold at Rosewood?
Yeah, we will.
Activated.
Yep.
Okay. done. Set up my plates here. KEDJ.
Yeah.
Turn. Procedure. Approach. RNAV 7. Rosewood. The route. Okay.
The other thing I'm gonna be cognizant of here is you're in heading mode, right?
Gonna do nav.
Then you have to put CDI in the ping needle. Right? Done. Now put nav on. Now you're slaving your GPS.
Advisory, switch tanks again. Okay. Okay.
And then just like before, right? Maybe we can do a W hold. Get the weather and all that stuff.
Bellfontaine Regional Airport. Automated weather observation 1702 Zulu weather. Wind 340 at 3. Visibility more than 10. Sky condition clear below 12,000. Temperature -8 Celsius. Dew point -13 Celsius. Altimeter 3083.
Okay, it's the same.
Sounds good. All right.
All right, so we're gonna.
Yeah, breathe it.
We're flying direct to Rosewood, VOR. We're gonna enter the holding pattern.
Yeah, what type of entry? Whatever this thing says, right?
Yeah, but I'm just thinking from the way we're coming in right now, it's gonna be I'm gonna say a teardrop entry from here.
I would agree.
Just because we're gonna come in, go out, and then come back.
How would you fly that?
I'm gonna cross Rosewood.
Yep.
And I'm gonna fly outbound, stay on the protected side, then turn back inbound.
Yeah, and just pick it right up.
Yeah.
My best advice for that, I mean, basically you're trying to fly to that point right there.
Yeah.
It's typically about a 212 cut is what it seems to work out really nice. And remember, it's 4 nautical mile hold, not time. And then we're in the hold.
Yeah.
We don't have to do the whole pattern. We just gotta enter it, zero, right around. Sounds good. You're gonna circle on this one.
So we're gonna fly the RNAV 7.
Runway 26 over.
Circle to land, runway 25.
Circling about 5 miles to the west.
I'm sorry, RNAV 25, circle to land 7. Right here. We're gonna do the approach, and we're not gonna bust our minimum altitudes as we come through. So once we cross Rosewood at or above 3,000, our first step down's 2,700 at Jollis, 2,700 at or above. And Cupmo is 1,700, 1,680. We're circling, our minimums are 1,620, so we can't come down much from there.
02, full stop,
Yeah, sounds good.
If we go mist, which we are planning on doing,
If you went mist in the downwind leg, how would you do it?
on the downwind leg, I would climb to 1,600, which I'm already above 1,600.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to make a climbing left turn to 3,000 and hold at Butin.
Yeah, you'd fly right to the airport, basically the runway. Fly right back to the runway.
Yeah.
And then just execute. Yep. You could ask something like that. I don't know when he'd make you go mist on it, but.
Date my brothers, on final 02, date my brothers.
I had got my little gloves out and I don't know where I stuck them.
Once we get away from this cloud, I have to do an unusual attitude.
Okay.
The way I set up unusual attitude,
You just slow down, right?
yeah, slow down a little bit, and then I'll put the prop full forward. Because if we're nose high, you gotta go far. Right. All right. You can kick off that autopilot a little bit, bring that prop in.
Autopilot.
A little bit. All right, my plane. Okay. And I want to do something extreme. I'll just rock it back and forth a little bit. And, all right, fix it. Full power. Nose high.
Okay.
Full power. Nose low. Power comes out.
All right, let's try that
Right.
again.
Ready?
Yeah.
My plane.
Pull the power back.
Yeah, bring the power back. It's fine.
Okay.
My plane. fix it.
801, crosswind 28, we'll continue on to the north.
There you go. All it is. Nothing to it. Your nose low and your wings are twisted. Power comes idle, level the wings, and then pull up, right? I'm fine with all that. That looks good. Just nose high, lower nose, full power. It's kind of in one motion. It's lower nose and full power.
Crawford County traffic, Turkey 510, departure pattern for the east, Crawford County.
And just like Lima, the calls will be like, hey, we're doing the hold, the procedure turn at Rosewood, or holding at Rosewood with RNAV 7.
Bellfontaine traffic, Diamond 407 Delta Sierra is about 10 miles to the west. Going to enter the procedure turn, holding pattern for Rosewood, RNAV 7, Bellfontaine.
512.
I'll just hand fly everything from here.
Good deal. That's fine with me. It'll be kind of a mix of both. With the autopilot, just recognize what mode you're in, right? If I'm in heading or nav,
Well, when you first turned it on, it's in roll mode,
automatic roll, and
vertical speed mode.
Yep.
Right. And then
So,
you want it in nav mode, depending on how you're navigating.
Yep.
It's GPS, you got to be in green needles.
and then your first move with the altitude is just arm it. We don't need to ever press that button, just arm.
Okay.
Because it'll be automatic. It's automatically climbing to whatever. We just want to arm it to capture the altitude.
That's what confuses me between this and the GFC one on the simulator.
Exactly.
Full teardrop. Okay.
I just turn it right to 212.
Turkey 510, 4 miles to the west for 05 Galleon.
Alright, that looks good.
Bellfontaine traffic, Diamond 7 Delta Sierra is over Rosewood, outbound on the holding pattern for runway 7 RNAV, Bellfontaine.
This says he's 100 feet below us. ForeFlight says...
Same altitude.
Oh, it does? Mine shows 800 feet low.
Mine's showing 0 here.
Weird.
Skyhawk 2634 Echo, 10 miles to the north.
I trust this. Just fly. Now we're turning inbound now.
Yeah.
What is it?
Not going that much faster, he's kind of hanging out.
Yeah, he is.
That's crowded.
Bellfontaine traffic, Diamond 7 Delta Sierra is inbound on the RNAV from the hold, runway 7, Bellfontaine.
Go ahead.
looking for that guy. I don't know where he is.
Yeah, I'll hang out till he gets in.
That hole was really nice, so.
All right, so we're going to stay at or above 3,000 until we hit Jollis, or until we cross Rosewood.
Yeah.
Then we can step down to 2,700 crossing Jollis.
And he might ask you, all right, is there any reason to come down to 2,700, like here? There's not, right? Because you got 6 miles.
Yeah.
Do you know how an ILS is set up? Yeah, I think he's kind of asked you this question before in the ground. For each mile, how much altitude are you expected to lose on an ILS, on your average ILS?
It's a 3-degree glide slope is typical, 3.2 degree glide slope. So it's a mile.
It's typically set up for about 300 feet.
300 feet?
300 feet a mile. So if I'm 6 miles away, on a typical ILS, I'd be losing 1,800 feet. Not 300, right? So why fight that?
Yeah, so really wait until we're why try to keep it above?
Yeah, just, you know, maybe a very gentle slope down. You've already got your glide slope speed, or your flap speed. Don't know where that guy is. He's over at the graph. Still haven't seen him.
I'm not going to be penalized for being at 3,100, right?
There's no traffic.
I'd be correcting it.
Right, but I don't want to be right at 3 and then like bust it.
Oh yeah, you get 100 feet above it. But he wouldn't want to see you hanging out above the. He sees you about like that. If you want to see it, a small correction. He wouldn't want to see much more than that. Absolutely, give yourself the buffer. But as you learned when we fly, right? They give you 3,000. We're gonna try to be at 3,000 feet. But yeah, in the approach mode now, it's all we're working our altitude. Where on earth is that guy? I'm thinking I see him, but then I don't see him.
Bellfountain traffic, Diamond 407 Delta Sierra is crossing Rosewood, inbound RNAV, runway 7, Bellfountain.
Runway traffic, Skyline 60.
It's way up at Jollis now, according to this thing. About 6 miles away.
Yeah.
23, runway traffic.
I just try to use the railroad track. Cause apparently he's right of the railroad track. I see the railroad track. I just don't see him. It's also just a little hazy. I mean, for all I know, it could be a helicopter. Oh, now he's gone.
Yeah.
And then we'll go miss, come back around. He'll vector you around for this leg, and it'll be the Jedrick for the VOR approach.
Okay.
Which he'll ask, can you do it in pink needles? Answer is yes, because you're monitoring Rosewood with an RMI. GPS overlay is what it's called. But that's when he'll fail your PFD by dimming it. You have backup mode. I encourage people, if he gives you the option, if he says what approach would you rather do with a failed PFD, the VOR, because there's no step down fix. There is no cutma on the VOR approach.
And the sensitivity is a lot less.
If you put it in green needles, yeah.
That's what we noticed.
Yeah, it definitely is. Absolutely.
Yeah, in traffic, Cherokee 11 Whiskey.
Just be aware at your MDA when you get down there, you will be not on course. You'll be way off center. But that's just the way it does, because there's no radial that lines up directly with the runway. I don't know where that guy went.
Well, as we get to Jollis, I'm going to have B-gump stunts. Still 2.5 miles away, but we can get started here. Still pumped on. Go ahead and do props full, mixture full, landing light on.
Yeah, I would.
We're set up for flap speed, but I'm not going to put them in yet.
No need. Maybe we start creeping it down to 2,800 or something like that. Just gradually. Because within a mile of Jollis, it's not that hard to do 100 feet per minute, come down to 27.
Yeah, in traffic, Cherokee 11 Whiskey, final 2.
And will he automatically pop you if you go below 27? I think he's supposed to, but if you correct it right away, you'll be safe. But you can't just hang out. That's what he's looking for. Like they're just strict omission. Now I might consider flaps. Is that a mile away?
up, so nose down.
Yep.
Check for that.
Yeah. Hey, doing the approach, nice and slow. I start feeding in power. There's no need to come down anymore. Now we're just flying nice and slow.
Okay, so 2700 at Jollis. We're
Right.
at 2820. We can come down just a
Yeah.
Then we're going to come down at Cutmo, 1680,
which is basically
1700.
Which, if you think about it, because you're circling mins are 1620, 1700 just that's what we're going to use in MDA. Basically. There you go.
We're at Jollis.
Now to make another call, and that's it.
Bellfountain traffic, Diamond 7, Delta Sierra is crossing Jollis inbound, RNAV 7, Bellfountain.
Oh, I saw that for a second. I know where it is. My screen.
Right over Bellfountain Airport.
Yeah, I know.
Or just past it.
Just passed it.
Could be a med flight.
160 knots? Do they go that fast?
Oh, yeah. Eurocopters can. That's
Yeah.
not what they fly.
Could be.
All right, I'm going to start coming down. So.
Yeah. Chop and drop, right? You only got 2 miles. Falling right down. Beautiful approach. This is good. That's all the descent rate we need. That looks good. Alright, we're getting below the cloud. Hopefully giving us a nice long look at the runway. So if we see the runways, we'll be canceling. Hey, comes approach. We got the airport in sight.
Yep. Aisle 2300 per 1700. Goose pump. Yep. Flaps. Prop mixture. Okay. Here's down and welded.
I hope. A bummer. It wasn't.
Yeah. Bellfountain traffic, Diamond 407 Delta Sierra is on a 2-mile final, runway 7, going to circle around for runway 25, Bellfountain.
How I do that? Lost a wheel.
You'll end up in the dirt pretty quickly.
I know. I'm wondering, like, if you can get it land on that wheel, right?
Usually you don't realize it because you can't see it.
Oh yeah, if you didn't see it, you can't see it here at all. Good problem.
I've got a story I don't want to tell you right now. I'm focused on landing.
Yeah, important. All right, we're coming down. Remember, 17 is the upper limit of what you're allowed. 1620 is your true min.
Yeah.
But all right, you fit your MDA. Tell me when you look outside.
Okay.
All
Have
right.
the runway in sight.
Let's go join it downwind here. And this road makes it so nice because it just essentially builds your separation there for you, right? Holding 17. And we're just right around.
Bellfountain traffic, Diamond 7 Delta Sierra is joining the left downwind for runway 25, Bellfountain.
And yeah, I'm not super sure when he would say, all right, go missed here. He might do it downwind. He might do it base leg. He might do it on final. I don't know.
Right.
But what the book says is if we went missed right here, fly right to the runway because you're guaranteed safety.
Guaranteed terrain clearance.
Yeah, and then execute the miss. Nice.
So if you're on
final.
on final and you go miss, you just fly the miss.
You'd still do the normal. You'd still do runway 7's miss, button or whatever.
But do you have to turn around and go back?
No, you just continue on.
Climb back up.
Yeah. And it kind of gets built in there a little bit with their design. Looks good. But my guess is he would take it all the way to final because he'll want to know when, hey, I'm just going below my MDI.
Skylane 522 with you, 4 miles to the south.
When the winds are out of the east, it does mess up the whole procedure a little bit. And this little house right there with the swamp, that's your best spacing indicator. If you can come around that, you'll...
Bellfountain traffic, Diamond 7, Delta Sierra is making a left base, runway 25, Bellfountain.
And if you ever go for commercial, it's a really good indicator for power off 180.
Okay.
But no, this looks good.
All right, I have landing assured. I'm going to descend below my MDA.
Yeah, landing assured. You can get second onto flaps, right? Boom.
Below my speed.
Yep, looks good.
Selected, indicating.
We're circling on in. And then...
Bellfountain traffic, Diamond 7, Delta Sierra is short final, runway 25, Bellfountain.
All right.
High, so we can...
Let's go mist.
Mist, okay.
All right, power up, pitch up, clean up. 1 notch of flaps immediately, let it settle a little bit, and then, boom, second notch. And then you'd hit suspend, and look at that, takes you right over there.
Back in the toggles.
Yep. And let's fly that mist.
Bellfountain traffic, Diamond 7, Delta Sierra is going mist, runway 25, Bellfountain.
Checkride Brothers, Sirius 225, Victor Tango, across the midfield for left downwind on 02, approximately 3 miles west, east of the airfield.
All right, about 500, we bring it back to 20 squared.
You got traffic, Bell helicopter, 2 miles to the west of the field, Dave on Ranger, County.
Fuel pumps off, landing light off.
Big Rapids Unicom, 823, Sierra Fox.
We're climbing up to 3,000.
Checkride Brothers traffic, Sirius 225, Victor Tango, crossing midfield 2,000, left downwind for 02, Checkride Brothers.
Miami
Then
Airport,
somewhere out here,
traffic,
he'll be flying, have to fly it, and then he'll give you a vector, and I'm going to do my best here. You can get set up with the VOR approach. Just hold like a 270 heading or something like that.
Cross traffic from Tiger 98, Delta Golf, left base 4.
Vectors?
Put Rosewood for now, because what he's going to have you do is activate the leg from Rosewood to Jedry, but he'll have you do it when you're like somewhere out here. He'll like he is vectoring you, doing an approach gauge, because you've already demonstrated you know how to fly a hole, and so we don't need to do it again. But what he's going to ask you to do is activate that leg, and remember we just poke the FMS, highlight it, menu, activate leg.
Cross traffic. From the Tiger 98, Delta Golf, short final, runway 4.
But you got Rosewood in there, right?
And we're dialed in right now.
We're dialed in. And if you were to go into Green Needles, right? Like that, Green Needles. If you wanted to fly to Rosewood right now, how could you do it?
I can look at the RMI and just
do
it to it.
Or you could just poke that.
Yeah, go direct.
Yeah.
Direct to.
And it gives you 2 indication. The thing that I've noticed is that if I flip to Green Needles right here, it won't turn that like the GPS does. And so just be aware of what that course heading should be, would be my advice.
Say that again?
So, like, if you turn, if we activate this leg, if you want, or if you just activate that Jedry leg right now. Menu, yeah, and then enter. And we'll work on it. Nothing, it doesn't change at all here. Versus GPS, which does.
Okay.
So just be aware if you're
it's behind us.
Yeah. This, you have to turn it with the course button right here.
Center it up, yeah.
Yep.
Or click it and
yeah, you could turn on course if you wanted. You could go pink needles and then flip green needles if you wanted. And then it would automatically do it, I think. But just be aware of what the green needles are saying. That's pros and cons of the pink needle. If you want, give me a left turn to 120 and intercepts final approach course.
All right, left turn 120, intercept final approach course.
Yep.
4 miles to the east of the field.
It's a little tighter, but actually the other day I got vectors here for the first time on this approach ever, so it can happen. But pink needles are really easy to fly, I will say. You don't have to mess with anything in the CDI, anything up here. There's just less chance something could go wrong.
Final for 10, circle to land on 28.
Say attempting to land on 28.
And you might say, all right, you're allowed to come down to 28. If you want, we'll pretend we're on the leg. You can come down to 2800 by Jedry. Because Jedry's 2800, I think.
Where you at, Leo? Yeah, we're over the top, heading northwestbound, so everybody's in, so won't be a second. All right, Roger, we're making about just making sure. Yeah, I got you at midfield there, just coming up to the expressway. Yep, I got your plate now, no factor.
Yep, so that's the one thing we didn't do yet.
Yeah, he might have you do it, might have you not do it. And
so we'll just do it real quick. So we're intercepting the final approach course right now for VOR 7. We're going to be crossing mid-reenter above 2,800. I'm below it, so I got to correct right away.
What kind of traffic, please?
the best part about this approach, there is no cut mo that we have to listen to. We're just going to go right down to our MDA. And we're actually going to land this one.
Okay.
So,
Let me make a call here.
yeah.
Bellfountain traffic, Diamond 407 Delta Sierra is inbound on the VOR 7, about 7 miles to the west right now from the airport, Bellfountain.
All right. There you go. And if you want initial flight plan, and that's what would concern me. See how it's just not lined up at all?
About 4 miles. What kind of traffic? 3 Bravo Golf, final 28, what kind?
And the course, the course is...
That's right there, 68.
068. There.
Yeah. All right, you're in it.
2,700, so we just stayed above 100.
Yeah, and you're only got a mile till Jedry. If you notice, you're fighting the altitude.
All right, we're going to go do our B-gumps here.
Good.
Heading light. Airspeed's good. For Jedry, I'm going to go ahead and put a first notch flaps in.
Good decision. And I think it's just 6'8" all the way in. Remember right?
16,
That's what it says right here.
1540, no, 1480. Our minimums.
Oh, 1500. Let's chop and
1500.
drop. All right. Just watch that deflection right there.
Bellfountain traffic, Diamond 407 Delta Sierra is 5 miles final, runway 7 on the VOR 7 Bellfountain.
When you go in backup mode, you do lose the wind vector. So we have
The wind was coming from that way, so remember that.
Yeah, I absolutely remember what is going on.
Right of the course. Yeah, and you lose your track on the ground too.
Yes,
So.
you do.
Got it on 4-flight here.
Yep. We're looking for about 800 feet. Anything above that, borderline unsafe. It'd be considered unstable.
Thanks for that.
And just be aware of the speed. Auto bus or bus altitudes, flap speeds, Then
Union
full
County
deflection.
traffic, Cessna 737
2/3 full
to Lima
deflection.
Golf, 2 miles to the northeast, entering the upwind for runway 27.
Bellfontaine traffic 282 Bravo Golf. Front of the traffic to southwest Lima Allen County.
Nice. Let's go. We're getting down below it. It's a little steep for me. Just a little bit. And it's all right. That happens. Just correct it. He's seeing if you're hanging out there. But no, fine. Okay. Coming on down.
Bellfountain traffic diamond 407 Delta Sierra, Sarah, 2 mile final, runway 7, Bellfountain.
Working that course back.
This is Alpha Sierra, go ahead. Negative, no change here.
I think your wind's coming from your left.
Yeah, it seems like it's switched.
Yeah. I think down by the surface.
Okay, sounds good.
Good.
About 5 miles to the west.
All right, you can look outside, right? You hit your MDA, boom.
Here's the airport.
Landing's assured.
Landing's assured, full flaps.
Somebody's gonna hit this
Union
for you.
County traffic, Cessna 737 Lima Golf, turning crosswind for runway 27.
And then, obviously you're not judged on landings here, but about to land.
Traffic not
I
available.
wonder if Checkride at Howard Airport, you'd be judged on taxi stuff. I bet you are.
Union County traffic, Cessna 7 Lima Golf, going to do a 360 in the upwind. See the departing traffic.
Nice picture. Oh, those pappies are so dim.
Oh, they're on, yeah, I couldn't even see them.
I know. I had to mention that. Looks good.
Oh, the wind shifted again.
Just a little bit, yeah. They've been variable all day. Luckily not strong. The windsock's gorgeous. Actually, might have a little tailwind.
Oh, kind of floating on me there.
Hey, look at the windsock.
Yeah.
Engine says, I'm gonna see how much. 14. All right.
Still off by Delta.
Pretty good. We'll cross the line, bring the checklist back out because you're still in a check ride. How does it nice out? Crossed it.
Bellfountain traffic diamond 407 Delta Sierra, clear the active, runway 7, Bellfountain. Okay, checklist after landing. Bottles 1,000 RPM. Pumps off, landing lights off. Up. Switch back to VFR 1200 if we were on a code, but we're not.
No.
Put it over by the fuel pumps.
I don't think anyone else is flying it today.
Okay.
We can just pull right over to the front of the door. No, I felt good about you a month ago. I still feel good. Just need a day. Just need a day.
Probably need like one more flight right before.
Yeah, absolutely. I always recommend that. Just so you can see what the winds are like up there. Nothing else. But
You want to turn it around?
you can leave it like this because I think he's gonna pull out the twin star.
Okay.